A remarkable 143% spike in WNBA ratings is directly linked to one player, Caitlyn Clark.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlyn Clark effect.
The best player in America, the best shooter in America.
The people have chosen Caitlyn Clark.
Watch her play. She plays at a high level.
She's going to break records nonstop for the next couple years.
If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
Caitlyn Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
She's the only one capable of taking nothing and making it something. The WNBA was nothing before Caitlyn Clark.
As she fearlessly battles on the court, even Stephen A. Smith is awed. Uncover the truth behind Caitlyn Clark's stellar rookie season.
No woman that I've seen has ever been able to jump shoot, wrist flick logo threes, Steph-like threes, like Caitlyn Clark can.
Before we dive in, I'd appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. You'll stay updated on all the exciting news about Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark is becoming the best player in the entire WNBA, not because she's white, because she's that good. She's having Larry Bird impact. She's been the driving force of the hottest team in the entire league despite her record turnovers. Why? Because she's that good. She's legit good. She's colorblind good. She's guilt-free good. She's apolitically good.
Caitlyn Clark has been causing quite a stir in the WNBA, leaving many people curious about what sets her apart and who she is.
I told myself it's not racist for me to like Caitlyn Clark's game and to say so publicly. I've got the fever. I can't help it. I can't stop watching. I can't stop talking about the impact Caitlyn Clark is having on game after game after game.
To understand her controversial status, we need to trace back to her remarkable journey to stardom.
Caitlyn Clark is the biggest star in American sports. There's not one other American athlete that could do what Caitlyn Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
I think she should be up for MVP.
Clark's meteoric rise commenced during her time as a standout basketball player at the University of Iowa. She wasn't just good, she was exceptional. Her exceptional on-court performances propelled her team to the national championship game, solidifying her place in basketball history.
She takes over, she maestros, she controls game after game after game with her passing and her carefully chosen spots to score.
The story of a girl from a small Iowa town turning heads in collegiate basketball seems almost unreal. However, that was just the beginning. When draft day came around, it was no surprise that Caitlyn Clark was selected as the first overall pick by the Indiana Fever in the WNBA draft.
The Indiana Fever selects Caitlyn Clark, University of Iowa.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
This choice was a no-brainer, as her exceptional talent was undeniable. Wow, prepare to be amazed by Caitlyn Clark's impact on the WNBA. Since joining the league, she's not only shown off her incredible skills, but also boosted the ratings by a jaw-dropping 143%.
The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlyn Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlyn Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlyn Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300. You know when's the last time I watched a WNBA game? Never.
The WNBA was nothing before Caitlyn Clark.
And that's not all. Her games are breaking records and drawing in huge viewership, with over 1.3 million fans tuning in on average. It's safe to say that Clark has made quite the entrance into the WNBA.
Caitlyn Clark is the driving force, and it does seem like there's some resentment, some jealousy, which is sports.
In the words of Stephen A. Smith, he vividly encapsulated the essence of the basketball phenomenon Clark's impact. She not only fills seats and attracts cameras, but she also garners national publicity. Clark is more than just a player. She is a catalyst for increasing interest in women's basketball like never before.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year. And suddenly, the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far in the league.
However, it's essential to reconsider if her influence is solely based on viewership and ratings. With an impressive average of at least 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, Clark is poised to make history as the first rookie to achieve this remarkable feat. Her exceptional all-around performance has the potential to significantly influence the course of play.
Caitlyn Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
People need to see, I think history is repeating itself, and Caitlyn Clark could be raising the tide and lifting all boats, and I think Angel Reese needs to take a pill.
In the compelling Cinderella story of basketball, Clark, a remarkably gifted player, has achieved tremendous success through her unwavering dedication and exceptional skills on the court. Despite consistently delivering outstanding performances, her team, the Indiana Fever, is currently grappling with substantial challenges, languishing at the bottom of the standings. This undoubtedly presents a frustrating and arduous situation for Clark, who, despite her captivating abilities, finds herself unable to single-handedly propel her team to success. The team's inability to coalesce and translate individual talents into collective victories remains a perplexing and disheartening obstacle for Clark and the Indiana Fever.
The WNBA has had several white superstars before Caitlyn: Breanna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird. But as great as they've been, they can't pass the ball like Caitlyn can. They can't orchestrate and control games like Caitlyn Clark can.
This situation places Clark in a true test of her abilities. Not only does she have to contend with formidable opponents on the court, but she also bears the weight of responsibility for the success of an entire franchise. The pressure on her shoulders is immense, as she is keenly aware that all eyes are on her during every play. This is further complicated by the fact that she is still adjusting to being a rookie in the league.
Caitlyn Clark is a phenomenon. And if I said to any of these people who think Caitlyn Clark is not the rookie of the year, I'd say, who would you want to start your franchise with? Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlyn Clark is.
Clark finds herself under immense pressure, with her supporters anticipating extraordinary feats from her, the media meticulously analyzing her every action, and her teammates relying on her for guidance. This places her in a situation of unparalleled pressure and accountability.
Y'all see the woman's feed up. Y'all see her. Caitlyn Clark is getting the crowd and going. Y'all mad because that corn-fed Iowa girl busting y'all ass. Y'all said she too weak. She can't do this. She lead the WNBA in assists. She cooking. Let her cook. Let her cook.
In the latest game featuring Caitlyn Clark, a shocking incident unfolded during the intense matchup between the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever. The game took an unexpected turn when Kennedy Carter of the Sky committed a flagrant foul against Clark, leaving everyone in disbelief.
There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. If you like Caitlyn Clark, you gotta hate Angel. And if you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlyn Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah.
Renowned sports analyst Stephen A. Smith condemned the foul, describing it as a cheap shot that had no place in the game of basketball due to its egregious nature. Imagine this. Carter suddenly approaches Clark, who is attempting to inbound the ball, and uses a move that seems more appropriate for a wrestling ring than a basketball court. The league had to review it after the game and upgrade it to a flagrant violation because it was that bad. Is that really true? Enraged, Stephen A. declared that Carter ought to have been removed right away. As we consider this issue, it's important to recognize the frequency of rough fouls in basketball. However, the targeted treatment towards Clark is not an isolated incident. Game after game, she has endured this type of physicality.
Diamond DeShield received racist threats after Caitlyn Clark flagrant foul.
She's going to face a level of racism from black players.
I think it is pure, unadulterated jealousy.
Clark has openly voiced her discontent with the officiating, stating that she feels opponents are allowed excessive physicality against her. This pattern raises the question of why Clark is being targeted in such a manner. Stephen A. Smith has suggested that jealousy might be a driving force behind this treatment.
When I look at Caitlyn Clark, fans are tuning in to watch her, and you know who that's helping? Everybody else!
It's worth considering whether some players in the league are envious of Clark's rapid rise to stardom, having made significant headlines, shattered records, and secured lucrative endorsement deals. Clark's sudden success could indeed provoke feelings of resentment among seasoned players who have toiled in the league for years. This dynamic sheds light on the complexities of professional sports and the emotions that drive player interactions.
This is a girl that came in and garnered more attention than others in the game. That's what happened. It's that simple.
The situation is becoming increasingly precarious as feelings of resentment and jealousy are leading to aggressive play on the basketball court. It is essential to consider the potential consequences for both the player, Clark, and the WNBA as a whole. The primary concern is Clark's safety. While basketball is inherently physical, it is unacceptable for players to be at risk of injury due to unsportsmanlike conduct.
You know what Caitlyn Clark said when she got fouled this hard?
What's going through my mind is I need to make these 2 free throws. That's all I'm thinking about. It's just a part of basketball. It is what it is. You know, try to make a play on the ball and get the block. But yeah, I mean, it happens. And those free throws when you have to shoot them with nobody at the line are kind of hard. So it's a little different than having people at the line. So I was just trying to focus on making those.
Furthermore, the continual rough treatment she is enduring could detrimentally impact her performance and even jeopardize her career. The situation involving Clark has implications not only for her as an individual player, but also for the overall reputation of the WNBA. Clark's exceptional talent has been instrumental in drawing new viewers to the league. However, the fact that she has been subjected to bullying on the court sends a negative message that could potentially hinder efforts to expand the fan base. Some commentators such as Stephen A. Smith have emphasized the significant impact that the success of a single player can have on the entire league. This success can lead to increased interest, viewership, and revenue, benefiting all the players in the WNBA.
Those women that are petty and jealous and have some animus towards Caitlyn Clark, that's old school sport. We got a good guy and a bad guy. We got real competition.
The entire situation surrounding Caitlyn Clark is quite remarkable. It's not just the opponents playing rough, but also the silence from her own team that is quite stunning. When Stephen A. Smith criticized Clark's coaches and teammates, he didn't hold back. He directly questioned, where are her teammates? It's a valid concern because any athlete needs the support of their team. Your teammates should be like a second family on the court, and Clark seems to be lacking that support. Imagine the loneliness of giving your all, breaking records, drawing crowds, and yet feeling like your own team is just watching from the sidelines. It's not just about being polite, but a matter of strategic basketball. Clark is the future of the team, not just any player. She's the one who fills the stadium and boosts TV ratings, so why aren't her teammates stepping up to defend her? At this juncture, one might consider the possibility that the players haven't fully bonded yet. After all, Clark is still a newcomer to the team. However, in professional sports, there's little time to cultivate strong bonds.
Caitlyn was on her way to shattering the all-time single-season turnover record. With 15 games to go, Caitlyn Clark is starting to push A'ja Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push A'ja as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlyn can.
Solidarity is crucial, especially when a rookie is facing intense pressure and physical challenges. Let's analyze the situation further. It's not just about one game. When a prominent player like Clark is subjected to rough treatment on the court, it sets a precedent. If other teams realize they can act aggressively against Clark without consequences, they'll persist with such behavior. Moreover, it implies that the entire league is free to target her if her teammates don't intervene. It's not just the players who are under scrutiny. The coaching staff is also facing criticism. When Matt Bond expressed that his teammates should feel remorse for not offering support, he didn't hold back, and he was right. How did the head coach react to all this? Very neutrally. This is unacceptable when you have a once-in-a-generation talent in your midst. The ongoing analysis of the potential consequences of this behavior is of paramount importance. Primarily, the risk of sustaining injuries is a critical concern. Despite the physical demands inherent in basketball, the persistent rough play exposes Clark to a higher likelihood of getting hurt. If Clark were to sustain an injury, the implications would be profound, affecting not only the fans, the league, and the team, but also the broader landscape of the game. The significance of the Caitlyn Clark situation extends well beyond her exceptional on-court abilities. It delves into how her accomplishments could potentially influence the regulations that govern all WNBA players. In the words of Stephen A. Smith, a rising tide raises all boats, and Clark undoubtedly embodies that significant rising tide. Let's take a moment to talk about finances. Have you heard about Clark's sponsorship deal? It's substantial, to say the least. A staggering $28 million is on the line. Can you even fathom that amount of money? Now, contrast that with the WNBA's maximum salary of $250,000. The difference is staggering. However, it's important to note that Clark's success goes beyond just her own financial gain. It has the potential to impact the entire league. Think about it. What does this mean for the WNBA as a whole? If Clark can attract such significant revenue and attention, it means more eyes on the game. Clark is making a significant impact. In addition to playing basketball, a larger audience than ever is paying attention. Remember the discussions we had about increasing ratings? This benefits all the players stepping onto the court, not just Clark. More viewers translate to increased revenue and more support for the teams, the league, and ultimately the players themselves. Is it feasible for WNBA players to achieve the same level of earnings as NBA players? While this may appear ambitious, influential individuals like Clark are laying the groundwork, making it less improbable than it may seem. However, financial compensation is just one component of the equation. By dismantling long-standing barriers and creating new prospects, she is demonstrating that women's basketball has the potential to be just as enthralling, skillful, and commercially successful as men's basketball. This is incredibly meaningful for all the young aspiring female athletes dreaming of a career in the WNBA. The impact of increased focus on the league can benefit all players in several ways. Firstly, it creates more opportunities for exposure and recognition. With sponsors and media paying greater attention, players have a platform to showcase their skills and talents to a broader audience. While one player such as Clark may currently be the center of attention, this heightened focus on the league also allows other skilled players to receive recognition and appreciation. Not all teams have star athletes, and these players may now have the chance to impress and astound fans and enthusiasts with their abilities on the court. As a result, the collective attention drawn to the league generates a ripple effect, offering more players the opportunity to shine and contribute to the excitement and action on the court. As the Women's National Basketball Association WNBA continues to grow, it's not just the superstars who will reap the rewards. With the league's expansion, an influx of sponsorships, and a larger audience, there's potential for increased salaries, better facilities, and improved travel conditions, things that WNBA players have been advocating for. However, achieving these improvements will require unity among the players. They should see the success of individuals like Clark as an opportunity to advance the sport, reach new milestones, and achieve feats that were previously thought to be out of reach. I'm glad you stuck around and watched the entire video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would be incredibly grateful if you could give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. Your support means the world to us, and it motivates us to keep creating content and keeping you updated with the latest information about Caitlyn Clark and the WNBA. Thank you so much for being a part of our community. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.